was the most intense, craziest shit that I've ever done until I got a powerful rear-wheel drive car. Yo, what up guys? My name is Judo Q and we are here with my 2001 Lexus IS300. I'm gonna tell you guys just a little bit about the build. Obviously it started as a 2JZ GE motor, no longer in here, we took that out. What we did was we put a GTE head and had that sent out and fully built. Had some port work done to it, some CNC porting. I opted to get some oversized Fiera valves, went with the Brian Crower dual valve springs and retainers. So I'm actually running a DLC coated bucket. If you guys aren't familiar with that, what that is a diamond-like metallic coating that was done by Kelford Camps out of New Zealand. And the reason why we did that was because I'm running a billet camshaft, and if you don't do that, it actually scuffs up the bucket. So the head is, again, fully built. It's got the CNC port, dual valve springs and retainers, oversized Fiera competition, stage 3+ valves. Then with that big cam, the port, I actually had this manifold custom made from Custom Plenum Creations, also overseas. That's supposedly good for 50 PSI. It actually is carbon Kevlar. A lot of people think that this is coated. It's not coated, it actually is Kevlar. And then to the bottom end, what we did is I took a GE bottom end, sent it out to Power Dynamics in Texas, and we had them put a JE ultralight piston inside of that thing. So it's got the Power Dynamics billet mains, 9.5 to 1 compression, fully done up, everything's ready. Supposedly the block's good for about 1,500 horsepower. I did not fire ring it. I wasn't planning on making like so much power initially, but what we did is we ended up full sending the thing. What I have done is I had to obviously get a brake upgrade. I'm running the LS400 brake upgrade in the front, accommodated with the full Figs refresh kit. So all my suspension has completely been changed out. Everything has been redone by Figs front and back. Pulsar GT42 turbo. So what this is supposed to be equivalent to like the Garrett turbo, the Garrett G42 1200. It's a 7375. I was just like, fuck it, dude. There's been so many people that I've heard good reviews from, and a lot of my buddies that are actually doing good numbers with these turbos. So I was like, I'm gonna see what Pulsar can do for me. So that's the turbo that we're actually running. It's got a custom 3.5-inch full exhaust system, all done in titanium with actually V-band flanges done by my buddy Maya from ANC Performance, one of the Viper shops out in Marietta. I'm running the Sound Performance manifold with twin gates, twin Delta Hypergate 45s by TurboSmart. We went with the Granis, the T56 6-speed transmission. We have that in there, and I got the McLeod twin disc clutch with the upgraded Tilton clutch master cylinder, and then the upgraded throttle bearing, and did some other stuff. Running a Trinstone TR 1056 right now, or I'm sorry, 1045, TR 1045 intercooler. I'm gonna actually be upgrading to their 1260 so I can get more flow. We're gonna try to get this thing to crank about like 1,300 horsepower. We got some meat in the back. I'm not bead locked yet. I'm at 1,000 horsepower, a little over 1,000 horsepower. I don't want to release the exact numbers. I was tuned at Apexi, which is Danny from Unrivaled Tuning. Anyone that knows him and knows his dyno knows that they put out low numbers. I'll just say this, we didn't stop, but the last print that I actually have is for 900 and I believe like 90 horsepower or something like that. That was with 2 degrees less timing. We shot 2 degrees more timing at it, through 4 more pounds of boost. I don't want to release the dyno sheets on that yet. We'll do another video later. Inside, what I'm running as far as like electronic system, we wired in an AEM. It's called a trim pot, and the reason we did that was to control my my traction, because I'm running a BTI. Those control the traction also, but I wanted to do something a little bit I don't want to say safer, but something that I could have my tuner set up and I could just turn to different traction settings through my AEM 506, which is what I'm running for my ECU. So here's the BTI, as you guys can see. So pretty much it tells me everything. I got my fuel pressure, my oil pressure, my H2O, which is obviously the water temp. I got my IATs. For you guys that know what that is, you know what's up. Intake air temperature is very important. I mean, it could see my boost. I could see my target. I got my gear set up. Whatever gear I'm in, it'll let me know right there. If I want like different displays, I can get in. This is like the traction control I was telling you guys back. I mean, it's pretty, you can go and you can adjust like all of your slip and I mean, everything from there. It's pretty cool, all the things that it will actually do. So I'm really happy with it. I was gonna go with the AEM, I believe it's called like the CD7, which is their 7-inch display. Obviously to complement with my Infinity, which is tucked away here in the dash. But I think for as far as like where you can put it, because obviously the AM display, I'd have to get rid of my dash, and I'm kind of picky. I want to keep my dash just because I'm fucking whatever. I just want it to be like functional. I like functionality. So if it's stock and it works, like why delete it? So that's why I went with the BTI. It actually fits in the Navi. I could like shut it if I want to. If the cops pull up on me, I fucking hide it, which obviously in a car like this, it don't fucking matter, but it's just kind of nice. If I go somewhere and park it or do something like that, I can, you know, I have the option of doing whatever I want to the screen when it's in the Navi location, and with the AEM, you can't do that. So anyways, I hope you guys like the car. If you guys have any questions like that or anything, comment in the video. This is, again, like, I don't normally do videos like this, but I figured I had so many people asking me about the car and what's done to it and how I did it and everything like that on my Judo Q platform, which is on TikTok, or if you follow me on Instagram. Like, a lot of people wanted to know about the car, so that's why we're doing this. So right now, the way that the tuner has it set, boost is kicking in at right between like 43 and 4,400 RPMs. I'd say we're in full boost by like 4,500. Right now, we're at, I'm running around conservatively just on a 14-pound tune just to drive around, but I can turn it up to 30 pounds instantly instantly. Like, even at 14 pounds, just driving around through town, I'm at over 700 horsepower. It's a lot, man. It's kind of hard to keep it, you know, to keep the tires planted. It just wants to get loose. I mean, just with a little bit of gas, it goes at even 700 on 14 PSI. The traction control on, that helps a lot. If I have it set to the most aggressive setting of traction control, even on 14 pounds, it will still spin. It's not as crazy. I could actually get it to, you know, kind of want to hook. You know, once we get into like second, like going into like third, second's still a little squirrely, but she'll hook up. And then by third gear, she just gives a little chirp and she's dialed. On full boost, I haven't tried it yet, to be completely honest, with the traction control on full settings. Even already with it on 14 pounds, on low boost, when I launch, like if I'm at a track and I want to launch, like let's say doing like a full dig, it's so out of control right now, it makes you want to fucking vomit, man. Like, it's a lot of power, so I haven't been confident enough to turn it up to 30 PSI and actually try to do a launch. I know we were doing a roll in third gear on 30 PSI, and I tried to just give it a little gas, and it fucking jumped like 2 lanes, dude. So it's a lot, you know, it's a lot to get used to. I don't know what it's gonna do on the street in traffic like this, and if we go to jump a lane, I gotta be able to get it back control. So I respect the car. I mean, unless I'm on an wide open road, I'm not gonna go into full boost and give it full throttle.
How hard the turbo comes on?
How hard? Well, see, it's hard to tell because the turbo and the cams come on at about the same time. My cam power band is from 4,500 to like, I believe like 8,600 RPMs is where the cam makes power from. So I believe the turbo and the cams are kicking on at about the same time. That's why when the turbo kicks on, like it literally will glue you. Like, you feel it. There's nothing, you know, about it that's that you miss. I mean, it comes on and like I said, it makes you want to fucking yeah, okay, this is some power, you know, even at low boost.
Because it's rear-wheel drive, not like all-wheel drive like all the other cars.
Yeah, like see with the all-wheel drive, or sorry, with the even with front-wheel drive, man, like I come from like front-wheel drive Hondas. I got Hondas that have been putting down like over 1,000 horsepower with Sean Church. He knows who I am very well. And those are scary. I mean, don't get me wrong, like they're pretty fucking scary when you have a powerful Honda and it's front wheel drive and you just feel the dashboard just fucking violently shaking and it feels like it just wants to fly in your lap. I mean, in the car still, you know, front wheel drive, when it's spinning, you have no control, right? Like if you jump a lane, you got to kind of let it hook to kind of bring it back and then give it some more gas. You got to play with the gas. With this, like, it's a whole nother animal, man. Like the back fucking end just wants to kick right and left, and it just feels like you're like you're fighting a rocket ship, and while you're doing that at the same time, you're like just glued because of the G-forces. So it's a lot to deal with. It really is. You know, it's not like driving an all-wheel drive car or even a front-wheel drive car. No disrespect to those guys, but when you get into some rear-wheel drive cars with some power, it takes a lot of fucking guts and a lot of discipline, man. It's different. It really is. To me anyways, you know. Rally was the scariest shit that I've ever driven, because you got to think, when you're rally racing, you're doing like rally, you know, stage or rally, you know, going through, you know, rally X or whatever. Like, dude, you're on a course that's about, you know, it's a one-lane course essentially. I believe the measurements are like 30 feet wide or something like that. And you're in an all-wheel drive car going through like just like these crazy environments, through sticks and hills and hitting chicanes and crests and just, you know, like all sorts of shit, having to get like your gear, doing your, you know, your minusing and your plussing and trying to listen to like your co-driver. Whereas, and that's pretty intense. But when you get in something like this and you don't have no one to listen to and it's just like you in the car, as I was saying, I used to think that rally was the most intense, craziest shit that I've ever done until I got a powerful rear-wheel drive car. Then I was like, okay, this is like, the car just wants to go right now, bro. Like, I just barely touch the gas and it's on it. But I mean, make sure traction control is good. Here we go.
Right there, I got loose even with traction control on.
And that was like what I said.